Robert? Okay, thank you. Okay, if I can get our sound on.
I do, I'm sorry.
That's all right, we'll just get it
I'm
cleared
pretty
up.
green at this.
That's okay.
Tough, right?
We're getting better at it because of COVID. We can thank COVID for that. Okay, if I can get a mover and a seconder to call the meeting to order, please. Moved by Councillor Belinda Kissmaker, second by Councillor Ted Sheneman. Be it resolved that we do call this regular meeting of council to order on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at 6 p.m. Those in favor? And that is carried. And I'll hand it over to Deputy Mayor Belinda Kissmaker.
The Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the land on which we gather here today is the Treaty 9, 1905-1906 territory, the traditional lands of Indigenous peoples. As we work towards reconciliation, may we all live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples.
Thank you. So review and note the agenda. There is a few items that I would like to announce. We do have a closed session this evening, and due to guests attending our closed session, that being our solicitor, we are going to go into closed at 7:40. There'll be a 10-minute intermission, but closed will start at 7:50, just so we accommodate our solicitor. And I believe that was all the amendment. So if we can get a mover and a seconder to move the agenda as amended. Moved by Councillor Ted Sheneman, second by Councillor Drago-Stefanik. Be it resolved that council does hereby approve the agenda as amended. Those in favor? And that is carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest and declaration of conflict of interest. You can do that now, council, or at any time throughout the meeting such a situation arises. Our first adoption of minutes is the regular meeting of council on October 4th. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Belinda Kissmaker, second by Councillor Ted Sheneman. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, October 4th, 2023 as distributed. Is there any comments on those minutes? I just have one comment, just a question about the CEDAC. We did set up the CEDAC, and I was wondering through the clerk where that's at.
And through the CEO.
Sorry, through the CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just in the process of setting up the first meeting. I'll be sending out a poll shortly to see what days work best for everyone and what medium.
Okay,
So in
perfect.
person, virtual, or hybrid.
Okay, thank you for that, Jen. Any further comment? There being none, I put that to a vote. Those in favor? And those are carried. Item 6.2 is our regular meeting of council October 18th. If I can get a mover and a seconder, moved by Councillor Drago-Stefanik, second by Councillor Ted Sheneman. Be it resolved that Council of the Corporation of Township of Hornepayne does hereby adopt the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, as distributed. Any comment on those minutes? I do have one comment that will be reflected. I did declare a conflict of interest for item 14.2 for our closed session, and it will be reflected in the minutes. And I had one more comment that at our next meeting, we will get an update on the Q pod that we were deferred at that meeting on November 15th. If there's no further, that was the, we were looking at the storage facilities to ensure that they were storing the data in Canada. And if I have no further comments on that, I put it to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Item number 6.3 is the special meeting from October 23rd. If I can get a mover and a seconder, moved by Councillor Ted Sheneman, second by Councillor Peter Kissmaker. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby adopt the minutes of the special meeting of council held on Monday, October 23rd, 2023 is distributed. Any comment on those minutes? There being none, I put them to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, so we do have our first deputation is about property tax rate and services for 66 Government Lake Road, and I invite Mr. Kempton Miller.
As you sent in there, we're asking the townships for help in the cooperation with the council to get the tax rate changed at our camp or our house, which is to reflect the services that we pay for when we don't receive at 66 Government Lake Road. Right now we're paying the full residential rate. We're under a rural zoning. and which basically means countryside, obviously. And I'm just explaining to you guys that we have a brand new house that we built, and it cost us well over $200,000 to build. And the property taxes after impact is inspected stuff, we're gonna be paying roughly around $6,000 in taxes out there. And on top of that, we have no access to water, sewer, fire hydrants, streetlights, pavement, garbage pickup, etc. All that stuff we're paying for, we have to pay out of our pocket on top of it, especially with our insurance. We have to have certain fire fighting equipment ready and stuff because we have no fire hydrants, so. Basically, we're looking for help in the town to change taxes or the services to reflect the taxes that we're gonna be paying. And that's pretty much it, and this is my last ditch effort to try and get some resolve out of the town, and that's all I can say for now, so. If there's any thoughts or if there's anything the town could do, I'm here asking.
Okay, thank you, Kempton.
That's it.
And are you okay to take some questions from council if there is any?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. And I open up the floor now for council questions. Councilor Belinda Kistemaker, go
I'd
ahead.
just like to know what you've done so far. Like, have you been in contact with MPAC to stress that this, you know how you have to go through this?
Well, how it
alarm?
works is when you get taken a building permit, it goes to the building inspectors and then impacts notified. So we've completed 100% of our building permit, which is complete house right to the trim. So they came and they evaluated when we moved in, when it was complete, which was last December, which I'm sure we'll be paying full residential taxes from that point on to have to catch up. And we don't get nothing, we get the road maintenance, that's it. On top of the additional costs that we have to pay to have the service that everybody else gets.
So have you gone through like saying like, you know how they get you to fill out the,
Well, I don't wanna go to impact and then try and get them to make my property worth less,
Okay.
because it's not worth less, it's
Okay.
brand new.
no, I was just asking if you went that direction.
No, we have before, we went to impact, it's not my goal to get less taxes, make my house worth less.
Okay.
We wanna pay for what we get, we don't get nothing, we get road service.
Okay, Councilor Kistemaker.
Kempton, have you looked into, like, actual, because I totally understand what you've done for fire coverage. You would definitely have to pay extra because
We
there's
pay
no
more
fire.
insurance and we also have to have certain fire.
What would the number of that be, just so like for your argument's sake there, how much extra would did the
Well, I
insurance
just buy a
go up?
water pump and 300 feet of hose and things like that, so.
So like for your insurance, like it must have went up, would it have been 10% maybe, or do you have a number for that?
Because we're on a totally different house than we had in town. Our insurance is what it is, but it is more because they ask where the nearest fire hydrant is.
Fire,
Away.
Yes.
And they required you to buy a fire pump or a pump and a hose and the 300 feet of hose? Or
Well,
did they
our
require
insurance
that?
company,
Yeah.
they said have firefighting equipment on hand even though we're in town.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that, Peter.
And like I said, we're right out the town zoning, now. We're in rural, we're not even in the residential, recreational, nothing, so. It's pretty hard to charge for something and then not get what you're paying for.
And with your garbage fees, you're still allowed to do your 4 bags on your own a week? You haven't been being paid, paying garbage fees, have you?
No, we don't pay
No.
garbage fees, but
Okay.
we have to drive my garbage to the
Yeah,
town, but I already pay for that.
Mhm.
Anything else, the demo, anything, and then even if they can increase in services or anything, like I said, we don't get streetlights, we don't get pavement, we don't get nothing.
Councillor Ted Shannon, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Kempton. I own several properties in rural townships and that, and I've never been asked to have extra fire protection. And all my properties are outside of like 12 to 20 kilometers outside of the range. So I have a little bit of trouble. Maybe if you could provide us some verification of that. That just sounds like something that would be strange and more maybe even from the personal interest that maybe I'm missing something of my own. And the other is that you did, when you started this project, you knew what the services were and stuff. So we need to make sure that we look at both sides of the table.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kempton.
You gotta also remember that you're charging somebody for something that you're not getting, you're not getting. You can't go to a restaurant and order, here's my order, but well, you're only gonna get this. You're pretty upset, regardless of whether the the fire pump and stuff, it has any bearing on anything. I would expect the town to show up with a fire truck when I got a fire. You know, because I have no fire hydrants, I have that anyways.
Thank you.
Any further questions from council? Councilor Jairus Defense.
Thank you for the presentation. I'd like to further discuss this and see what avenues are available. I mean, as a municipality, to reduce taxes, my understanding right now is we can't do this at the moment. But to look at, the issues, I want to understand before I make any comments. But I'd like to see it further. I'd like to study it. And you might not be the only one that will come across and do the same thing. So I want to know exactly the whole gamut. And thanks for your presentation.
Just to answer that though, the town has been rezoned and there is avenues for constructing rates for different, it happens everywhere, it's a normal thing, there's different rates for everywhere. I'm sure your rural properties aren't the same as the in-town taxes, it just can't be. This is pretty much, as far as my research has ever done, this is the only place that's going on right now. And I'm gonna continue to pay my taxes and I gotta go down swinging and keep following all avenues I have, so hopefully this is the last take we can.
Councilor Pierce-Smith.
Yeah, I think we got to look into this,
Yeah.
Kempton. And thanks for bringing it to our attention. And yeah, we should be seriously looking into, once we get all the information, what we can do to help, because I do agree. Councilor Shinneman's right. You knew when you built it, but that's neither here nor there.
Absolutely.
You don't get the garbage pickup. If your kids were young,
But do
They
I
wouldn't get the
spend
same service.
for 10 years till I get that changed so I can build outside or be encouraged to build and put a new home in Hornepayne? Like they don't want like everything to stop that or what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any further comments or questions from council? Well, I personally want to thank you, first of all, Kempton, for building in Hornepayne. Okay, and I do think I agree with the two councillors that raised it, that we do need to look at it. We have all the documents in place now. And I strongly agree that our tax rate is going to inhibit investment in homes. So now, and in the past when you came, I owned property out there and I had to declare a conflict at that time. Now I don't. So I'm in agreement to look at it, and we did do all the zoning, and you are correct. We can set different residential tax rates depending on where situations, property, services that are provided. I will say though, it won't happen overnight.
I know
It's, but it's definitely something that this council would like to look at, and we are looking at trying to create more investment for our community, and our tax rate is a hindrance. So.
Yeah. And we're the service, so, I mean, if there's anything that can be done, but if there isn't, I just need to know either way, I guess, is that where I'm at right now, so.
Definitely, and we will research. I did take notes about the fire service. If there's anything that we can have in our fire department to help with that with the hydrant. I'm not sure if we can carry our own pumper and that sort of thing that can take right out of that lake that's specific for when it's protecting homes on lakes. We don't have that many within our municipality.
Reaching for straws, I mean, you're dealing with ice and you're dealing with downhills, the truck goes down there, they're not coming out, it's things like that, there's just everything, but we're in the township, so.
Mhm. So, but from that perspective, we got to make sure that our fire service is completely protecting everyone as well, too, right? And yes, you are within the municipality, and our fire truck does go to your property. Okay, is there any further comments from yourself?
No, I appreciate everybody's time and hopefully we can come to a good resolution and go from there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you a lot.
Okay, we do have our next presentation is Seed Homes, Northern Ontario, and David Blanchet is here with Darcy McIntosh. And the floor is yours, David.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks. Jen, how do I get,
You can just present like earlier to I can touch it.
really? Okay, there we go. I
Yeah,
got
through the
that.
window.
Awesome. Thank you for the support.
Here to help.
Yes. Here you go. Hi, my name is Dave Blanchet, and I'm here with Darcy McIntosh. Darcy is one of the owners of CEGEN, which is the parent company for Seed Homes. I was here earlier in the year with Darcy's partner, Steve Morgan. We met with Mayor Fort just to talk about our product. Actually got connected with Hornepayne through Jennifer on on Facebook. So, you know, being originally from Northern Ontario, I know there's a problem finding, you know, housing that fits this market from a price perspective, and even just to find people that are willing or able to build houses or ship homes up secondary highways, ship pre-manufactured homes. And our homes are, they're built the way CEGEN builds compressor stations in oil and gas. They're built inside a factory, and then they're folded up and put on the back of a transport and transported all over North America. The loads aren't overweight, they're not oversized. So, I mean, on an ice road or secondary highways, they go anywhere, you know? So that's one of the things that makes us unique, you know? So last year, our CEO, Steve Morgan, he's a philanthropist as well as an entrepreneur. You know, it's very, you know, very public. There's a housing crisis in Canada. You know, it's worse the further north you go. You know, and you know, living in Hornepayne, living in Superior East, you guys are well aware of that. I don't need to get into that. In the company, you know, CEGEN's been building houses for over 20 years. Darcy, VP of Operations, one of the owners, is a master electrician. All the trades report into him. They designed an innovative housing solution. And a lot of the building techniques come from the industrial sector. So when you buy a seed home, it's not like you know, a mobile home that you might be used to that 20 or 30 years from now, it's falling apart. These structures are made to last 50 or 100 years. We don't know how long they're going to last, but I've been in some compressor stations that are built this way in the 50s and 60s. You know, I've been in them, you know, 5 years ago, and they're still standing, and they're still insulating, and they're still doing your job. So this is Steve, you know, and you know, he's building a company. Yeah, and some other things about seed homes. So they've got they're made out of preformed steel panels with a steel roof, so they're fire resistant. If you're in a community that was you know, that had a forest fire running through, you would need to be in the forest, you know, with slash on the house to burn. You know, the way a forest fire starts with a, you know, regular house, you get embers falling on the asphalt shingles and on the, you know, on the side of the house, and the house, you know, starts to burn. It's pretty hard to do that when your entire home is made of steel. You know, it takes, so from the time of when you order a seed home, it takes about 12 weeks for the largest house, for a 1,230 square foot house, to be built in the factory and then shipped. Takes up to 5 days to set it up. And that, once it's set up, it's complete, ready to move in, including all of your appliances. You know, you're ready to go. Again, if you think about, you know, how they're built, think, you know, industrial strength is really what, you know, you think of. And the shipped, they can be shipped intermodally, so on a train, on the back of transport. So a place like Hornepayne's perfect. You know, we can ship from Calgary to here on the back of a train. We're actually, Mayor Ford took us around town. We're considering Hornepayne and Superior East, you know, to be the site of an assembly plant. You know, if we're selling 12 or 15 or 20 homes in Superior East or in Northern Ontario a year, then that justifies having a factory in the area. You know, and that and being like having CN here and having a place where you can unload makes Hornepayne perfect for that. You know, and I mean, they're built to be beautiful. The interior walls. 5 minutes? Oh, I'm taking too long. So the interior walls are made of a new material called truss core. You know, we got bamboo flooring options. You know, high-end finishes. And then we also have other options, you know, for off-grid living, like solar panels, water catchment systems. This R22 is incorrect. You need to be R31 for the Ontario Building Code, and we're R31. We can be whatever R value you want. We just make the walls thicker, costs a little more to ship, costs a little more to make. But R31, so a 2x6 wall with pink insulations are R20. All right, just to give you an idea. So this is 1.5 times as fuel or, as energy efficient as a 2x6 built home. Again, fire resistant. Another thing too, all of the materials the CEGEN home is made out of are recyclable and renewable. Like if you ever wanted to, demolish it and throw it away, it's made out of steel. It's made out of truss core, which is recyclable. So you're not filling the landfill with anything, and we don't fill landfill with any of the bits and pieces when we're building something. We use truss core material on the inside walls, and all of the bits and pieces, truss core actually comes to our shop, picks them up, brings them back to their facility, and makes new product out of it. Truss core. So you can Google it on, if you want, and Home Hardware actually carries the material now. Like it's the up and coming replacement for drywall. There's no mudding, no taping. It's got all the, they've got all the trim pieces, and it looks really nice, and it lasts forever. You can slap shot a hockey puck at it and you don't do any damage to it at all. And just pricing comparison. So our homes range from 400 to square, like our standard home designs range from 400 square feet. That's a studio up to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,230 square foot house. Okay, all of those can be transported anywhere in North America on the back of a regular transport. And they range in price without any upgrades from $65,000 to $200,000 complete, not including the land. You can put them on a screw pile foundation, which that's what we do out west. So it's, and you could do it in Hornepayne. There's, it's not like Sudbury, you're not built on a big piece of rock here. And piles are about $500 a piece. So you'd be looking at maybe $8,000 for a foundation, which is remarkably less expensive than a concrete foundation. Just to give you an idea on some pricing, so on the Nook, which is a studio, you're looking at, including an installation, so in the Calgary area, it'd be about $72,000. From Calgary to Ontario to ship one of our loads is about $6,500. So all in, safely $80,000, and you would have, so this would be what you would call here a garden suite. Is that, with the, so for 80 grand and, and getting your services hooked up, you could have a studio apartment in your backyard that you're renting. That's, or on an empty lot, you could put 2. And I'm pretty sure that there are some single people in town that are looking to rent, given the activity that the railway has here. And this, so, forgive, this is not a Northern Ontario drawing, but we sold some of these to a company in Costa Rica, and we ship all over the world. But that's basically what you have. In Costa Rica, you don't need a sloped roof. They don't have snow. So here the roof would be sloped and, and would have the engineering required for snow loads. So a 770 square foot, 2-bedroom, 1-bath is coming in at $115,000. So that would be comparable to the post-Second World War little 2-bedroom houses that were built. The difference would be they'd be R31 walls, not 2x4 construction, right? Mm-hmm. So again, set up with delivery, maybe $125,000 plus your lot and getting your services set up. The thing, so for 900 square foot Fairview, you're looking at about 168. And then for 1,200 square feet, the Haven, $200,000. Something to keep in mind too, here in Hornepayne, you share the the building inspector with the rest of Superior East, like with White River, Wawa, Duberville. So we've sat with them. Darcy's been in contact with them. We, you know, so we have all the CSA certifications. You know, to pass the Ontario Building Code, your building inspector's aware of that. There's no extra paperwork for you to do. Okay, when he's getting a package that you're gonna give him from Seed Homes to get a building permit, it's gonna get stamped. We know what he wants. Okay, and so he just won't let us submit that for the building permit for the purchaser. You know, we need to give it to the purchaser gives it to the building inspector, but he's already been through all of our certifications. You know, there's no extra paperwork for the buyer. You buy your lot, you buy your home, we give you the drawings, we give you the layout for the screw piles, we can connect you with a screw pile provider. You know, the only thing that we don't do is find the services on your lot, you know, and well, we can connect them. We'll
Okay,
connect them for you.
thank you for your presentation. I'm gonna give you a minute here to wrap up.
Yeah,
And,
sure.
no, that's all right. If there was anything we're gonna have opportunity to ask you questions, but is there anything else that you just want to highlight before I open up the floor for questions?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, okay. This is exciting. I like the costing of this. It's much better than anything we've seen at this table yet. And I open up the floor for questions from council. Peter Fitzgerald, go ahead.
Through you, Madam Mayor, the R31, I like that, but the heating system, does that come with a heating system?
Darcy's
What
gonna
kind of
answer
heating
that.
system?
Conventional furnace, so.
Conventional, so
you can-
propane or diesel, whatever.
You get a propane or electric, or natural gas, depending on what fuel source you have.
Okay.
Yep.
That's included in the price.
You bet.
Okay, Councilor Draos.
Yeah, through Mayor. So basically, this is prefab, what you tell me, right? So all the services inside this facility, I call it facility, the house, your plumbing is there, your electrical is there, it's already installed, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Installed, inspected, certified. You just have to do the final connection to the sewer, final electrical, final water line. And if you have propane, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Councilor. Any other questions from council? So from the time of delivery, so it's been shipped to Hornepayne, does your company work with the company that does the piling, that does the foundation? So you take care of that as well?
So we can help the homeowner, you know, we can connect the homeowner, but the homeowner is gonna end up paying that. If they pay us to do it, we're gonna mark it up 10%.
Mhm.
So we'll be involved. We're gonna give you the drawings. We're gonna tell you, we're gonna give you the drawings that you need to give to the pile provider, so that the piles are in the right spot. So we'll walk you through it.
Okay, and you have installers that you know of within our area that you're
Yes.
working with? Okay.
So Hearst, Wawa, and Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay. And so the expectation then is when delivery of the home is here, the piles would be already done?
100%.
Okay, so from the time that the home is on the transport truck, say, to the walk-in ready that they can use? Like, how long does it take to unload it and then put it together?
5 days maximum
Okay,
for the largest one. With the smallest one, probably 1 day.
Yeah, I would do 1 to 2 days tops.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So, and then we have to coordinate the electrical and then just getting those services hooked up. But the home itself, max 5 days to get it set up,
Yeah.
ready to go, to be hooked up, okay? Go ahead, Councilor Peter History.
Depending on the train that you're on, still to spec, if you could just go slab on grade, same thing.
You can go slab on grade if you want.
So if you wanted to, just thinking ahead, slab on grade, if we got the right soil to do, could the owner use slab on grade and then maybe do in floor heating or something? Incorporate that into it.
Absolutely.
You can marry the two and
You can put them on a basement if you want, and we just build a place for stairs and get your stairs to go down in the basement if you wanted to do
because
that.
I was just thinking of like, say, if there was a project where you have 6, say, single units.
Yeah.
And have a common heat pump system,
We're doing that in White River.
and then they distribute from there.
100%.
Okay.
We
That's
have
good.
4 going into White River exactly like that.
Nice.
Okay, Counselor Span, go ahead.
Yeah, from your experience then, so the house, it's cost $120,000 without whatever. What's the extra cost for installation once either through you with the 10% markup? I just want to have a ballpark figure so that I understand this fully.
You mean just for services?
No, to install.
So installation,
I can
so
see
for a 1,200 square foot home, we're getting, looks to be
About $6,400.
about $6,400 is what we estimate for a 1,200 square foot home. So and these are estimates. So the way that you would purchase a home is you would put a $100 deposit down on the website. That reserves your spot in the production queue. You put a $100 refundable deposit down and you say, I want my home to be delivered September 1st, 2024. So then at the appropriate time, when, somebody from Seed Homes will get a hold of you, you sign a contract, and then we start to build your home. Okay, and at that time, you would, any upgrades that you want, you would decide that at that time. There, you're gonna get a fixed price, and that's the price you pay. Okay, these are examples, but you might want a different quartz countertop. You might want upgraded flooring. You might want to have heated floors and an HVAC system. You might want to put in solar panels. So we don't know that yet. So these are homes, these would be very nice homes at this price. What our experience has been, then people want more windows. They want more than the allotment of windows. So, you know how it is, right? And all that stuff's available, but we made these homes to be rugged and beautiful and affordable. You would have to make them gold plated on the inside to get over $200 a square foot. I could talk about it for an hour.
Very cost efficient.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Yes, and my final question. Since it's going to be unloaded and loaded, anything that's loaded and loaded, there's always a chance of being moved, misaligned. Does your company come on site to make sure there was no damages done? Because it's listening to it's going to be pretty heavy, sturdy, but who will do a quality control check once I receive it on my property that it is fine and it is state that left your factory?
That's part of the installation. So as the crew comes out and it's all erected and the final pieces are put in, it'll be QA, QC'd and recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, for warranty purposes.
Thank
Okay,
you.
that was my follow-up question. So what is the warranty on it?
Is it 5-year, Dave?
Standard Ontario new home warranty,
Okay,
just like any other builder.
thank you. Counselor Shannon, go ahead.
Thank you for your presentation. So standard new home warranty now, is that 5-year? Is that, like you said, standard new home warranty? What is standard?
That is 5 years typical for standard, for builder's warranty, yeah.
And supplemental. So I was at a tourism conference last week. Collingwood has gone ahead and set garden suite lots as being there. They've set 3 pre-approved plans that they had designed to fit there. So is that something that we could work with you to be able to have a plan other than your standard one that would be there?
I don't see why not. Like, if it's, as long as we can have our main utility corridor. Yeah, so we can have affordable shipping.
And then my understanding then is it comes in sections. We did one in Sunbridge that came in, they were all 8-foot second, 16-foot sections. So not like a Gilchrist, which I think Councilor Stefanik was talking about, or a Royal Home where they come in 2 pieces. This is in smaller modules that are tied together. Is that correct?
No, this is this folds. So the floor will fold down, outside wall folds up, and then the outside walls fold out. And then the roof panels get set up.
Okay, but different than a Gilchrist or a Royal or a Quality Home where it's not
That's
coming
right.
in 2 erected pieces. It's
That's
there.
right.
Okay.
This is a unique patent pending system.
Because the materials are using allows you to do that.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions from council?
Very interesting.
Okay, I don't have any further questions myself. I want to thank you both for being in our community today. It was a pleasure showing you around Hornepayne today.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, and I enjoyed my time, and I thank you for your presentation. I do think this is a good fit for our community. We do have quite a few young people, and we have property available that these could be built on. So I know that you're presenting at the Hornepayne Housing Corporation in a couple of weeks, and that's the avenue for sure that this project would fly with from town council. But if you need any other support from our town council, please reach out to us. Okay,
Perfect.
Thank you.
Last thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody, so Mayor Beverly Nantel from Duberville came out to to inspect our facility. So if you want to get a firsthand opinion from somebody who's a straight shooter, you know, she would be somebody to contact. You know, she came and walked through one of our products. She walked through a house that's getting built in High River, Alberta. You know, talked to the tradespeople. Yeah, and she doesn't work for us, so she's gonna tell you.
yes, and one question on that. How far is High River from Calgary?
I think 40 minutes,
40 minutes, okay.
depending on where you're at. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
For your time.
Yes, thank you, and safe travels.
Thank you. Thank you.
I say, watch the news.
I got double property to buy my little house for my wife. Shoot for him
Okay,
in the back.
this meeting is being recorded, you know that, eh?
We'll see you watch these later. I'll be out of town. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that.
Take care. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I like that.
Okay, so moving on to item number 9.1 is our departmental reports. If I can get a mover and a seconder to open the reports on the floor. Moved by Councillor Peter Kissick, seconded by Councillor Ted Shannon. Be it resolved that the Council of Corporation of Township of Hornepayne does hereby acknowledge receipt of the departmental reports provided at the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. And I open up the floor. The first report is the CAO clerk's report. I'd please ask our guests that there is no talking. This is a council meeting.
When he has 20-some minutes, we get 10, you know, and we get cut off.
He had 10-minute presentation. I was timing
He
it.
had 21 minutes they were talking. We get 10 stinking
Okay,
minutes.
you can put in a form and complain about that, but it won't be happening at this council meeting tonight.
No.
Any further discussion from the gallery or people that are here will be
I
asked.
was
to leave.
talking to him about
That's
something
enough.
else.
And you're not to be talking about it in our council meeting.
Oh, well.
Okay, continuing on to the CEO clerk's report. Do you have anything you'd like to add to your report?
I just wanted to mention to council that for the training portion in my report, I forgot to mention that I have one more class that I need to take for emergency management training. And that will be at the end of November, and it's virtually. So, and then I'll be done all my requirements needed to meet compliance. And I did mention it in my September report as well, so it's in there.
Okay, thank you for that, Eileen. Any comments or questions on the CAO's report? Councillor Drago-Stefanic, go ahead.
Was this report done today or a couple of days ago that you're submitting to us now? Because the reason I asked the question, did anybody apply for the operations committee as of today?
No.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we still have all the vacancies, I believe, at that committee.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had a couple of questions. We're still waiting on the scope change.
Yes, and I actually emailed them again today and just referred back to the two emails that I had sent to them, which was September 22nd and October 5th. And I just asked again for an update on the scope change request.
Okay. And the ball field application.
I have not done any work on it as of yet, but it is on my radar and I will be working on it this month.
Okay.
It's my priority for this month.
Thank you, Ellen. And I think that was all my questions. Any further questions from council? Okay, there being none, we'll move on to the Public Works Manager's report. And the Public Works Manager is away at training, but if we have any questions, Eileen will submit them and get them back for our next meeting. Councilor Dragus-Panico.
Just an update on SP-B2, pursue acquisition of asphalt halt box with recycled capabilities. What stage is that at? Or you could ask you through him for next meeting. It's not an, didn't need it right away, but I'd like to know what stage is that is at.
I can answer that right now. We're just looking into getting quotes and seeing what our options are.
Okay, thank you for that. And I just wanted to get an update that our arena is open, ice is in, everything went well.
I believe the ice is in, yeah, it says under other on his report that the ice painting has been completed.
And then it's open now for use? Or what day are we opening?
I'm assuming this is for the minor hockey.
Or just our arena regular programming for the public skates?
I believe the hockey's supposed to start on November 6th, so it would be next Monday then, that would start.
Okay, great. Okay, any other further questions for the Public Works Manager's report? I just would like to applaud the team for what they've done when taking down the houses. I know that they've improved the way they're doing it and it's happening quicker and so if you can pass on comments from council.
For sure, I will.
Okay, and the following report is the Economic Development Officer's report. And Stacy, do you have anything you want to add to your report before I open up the floor? No? Okay. And I open up the floor for questions or comments from council. Councilor Dragus-Panico, go ahead.
I think it's married to you, Stacy. Upgrading expansion of current facility, awaiting scope of change request. Anything happened there at all?
No, that's what Eileen just spoke about, so it's
That's
still,
about the arena upgrades.
yeah, it's still at the provincial level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other further questions or comments? I just want to say that it's been a pleasure to work with Cinnamon Toast. I'm not sure if all of council, if you've gotten thank you cards from them. I got a personal thank you card for the interview and that I thought they were very professional. I'm looking forward to seeing all the ideas that they come up with, so. And applause to staff for hiring them. Okay, if there's no further comments or questions, I'll put these to a vote to acknowledge receipt. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, we're on item number 10, 10.1, Northeast Superior's Mayor's Group, Insurance Policy Review. Sorry, I gotta get to the actual one. Did you want to speak to this, Natalie?
I mean, it's just a request to council just to ask if we can enter into a cost share partnership with the Northeast Superior Mayor's Group to hire, as it says in the resolution, independent consultant for an insurance policy review. And then staff, we would follow up with any SMG just to make the necessary arrangements to move forward. But at this moment, it's just to see if council's willing to move in that direction.
Yeah, so we had quite a discussion about this, about trying to find shared, when we're looking at policy, building policy, if all of our communities are looking at it, can we share the research and gathering the information and that cost, and then it takes it off of all of our individual staff. And then we get the document, we can share it if we're all looking. The one thing with insurance, we know that they've been increasing insurance prices and looking at how do we minimize that, what risks other policies have that maybe we don't have, are we missing things in comparison? So I thought it was a good idea to share the cost and then share the expertise as well. Any further comments on that? Councilor Dragus?
Yeah, I like the premise. But before proceeding, I remember council, I'd like to see a quote for that services to see what we are going to be paying as a municipality. I believe with the premise, I like the premise, but I'd like to see what numbers we're talking about.
Yes, I think once they have the support of each of the communities, then they'll go forward to look for quotes.
Thank you.
So if I can get a mover and a seconder for the motion, moved by Councillor Dragus, second by Councillor Tetchenman. Whereas council has received correspondence from the Northeast Superiors Mayor's Group, NESMG, requesting that council consider entering into a cost-sharing partnership with the communities of Wawa, Duberville, Chapel, White River, and Manitouwadge to hire an independent consultant to review all insurance policies within the Northeast Superior region. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of Township of Hornepayne does hereby express formal interest in entering into a cost-sharing partnership with the Northeast Superior Mayor's Group, NESMG, to hire an independent consultant for an insurance policy review and direct staff to follow up with the NESMG to make sure the necessary arrangements to move forward. Any further discussion on the motion? If there being none, I put that to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried and opposed. Okay, the University of Guelph interview request. Eileen, did you want to speak to this?
We received this request from the university, just asking us to partake specifically. I think it can be members of council or the mayor, the EDO, the CAO, and just participate. I believe it would be either over the phone or through a virtual meeting in an interview, and just provide information. To provide an information for their study.
And you were, your staff was able to provide some time for this as well?
Yeah, I've spoken with the EDO and both of us are agreeable to taking or to doing an interview.
Okay, I'm definitely in agreement. I think doing tasks like this and stretching out and actually sharing what the challenges are for small towns helps us build different cases across the board, especially if they're studying it. So I am definitely in agreement. Council, would you be interested in having your contact information shared? Councillor, okay.
Yes, yeah.
I think we have consensus
That's
from all
fine.
of council, okay? Okay, now we're on to item 10.3. Town follow-up. So this is on the agenda for discussion for this evening. Okay, I think what we need to have first of all is clarification on the expenses that were increased. Because my understanding was we did not increase the travel allowance, we added to it. So we'll need the documents from that. And then also the other, all the different people in the municipality that get the vehicle allowance. And is there other information that council would like to see before we have a full discussion on this item?
I personally am from tracking the kilometers. I have none. If, to be transparent, that's fine with me. I mean, to justify, I guess. Keeping in mind that this report that was presented to council, which council approved, it was done by a third-party consultant. They investigated approximately 8 different municipalities. We were the one of the lowest for honorariums and mileage, and did a thorough study which they presented to us, and the entire council agreed with the decision that was recommended by the consultants. we were not the top, we were not the bottom, maybe second to last was before. So we accepted that report. Nowhere did it state in there that we should be tracking our kilometers. It was never discussed. It didn't appear in any other municipality. I think they did approximately 6 or 7 municipalities, and no one tracked their kilometers.
Can you, actually, that's a good point, Jeremy. Can you bring that, we'll bring that report back?
Yeah.
So council has it, and also can we reach out to the consultants and see if that was investigated? Is there other further information? Go ahead, Councilor.
Yeah, it was,
Dickinson.
if I remember correctly too, because it was recommended to go to a third party and to have it all done, but, as far as near the, like Councilor Stefanik was alluding to, I thought we were almost on the bottom for, like, and it was how many, like, another thing I'm curious is, when was the last time that was looked at? How many terms ago?
Okay, yeah. we
That's
can
something that we
definitely-
can say, yeah.
We can definitely find out when was the last reviewed, and then we'll have the full document so that we're not.
But I mean, I have no problem with mileage either, it's just that because the vehicle allowance, if I remember correctly, it also was to help pay for the cell phone and as well as the internet usage.
Yes, yes.
So, yeah, but if that's helps the transparency, I'm absolutely for it.
Any other information that council would like brought forward?
I think maybe we should also put, and like what the proportions are, because like the internet, we all have internet, so you gotta, but you're using it for that. It's like when you have an office and you have your own business, you write off certain office space or whatever, so you can maybe look at how much it divvies or what's justifiable to put towards each end there, so we can put this to bed, like, so
Yeah,
percentage of it is for this, percentage of it is that. And then if there's any questions, they can be answered, and then we can move on.
Right. What the allocations are for each
Yeah.
of those expenses.
Yeah, like, how did the third party come up with those,
Okay, if there's nothing else from council, then that'll come back to the December meeting.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might take some time to gather the information, but we'll aim for December 6th.
Okay. Okay, if there's no further discussion, we'll move on. Correspondence information only. If I can get a mover and a seconder to open up the correspondence, moved by Councilor Douglas Bennett, second by Councilor Peter Kitzmaker, be it resolved that the Council Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby acknowledge receipt of correspondence information only package attached to the agenda of the regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. Any comment on any of the items and information only? Did staff need to speak to any of those? No? Okay. Okay, there being no comment, I put that to a vote. Those in favor? And that was carried. Okay, item number 12 is committee and board updates. If I could get a mover and seconder to acknowledge receipt of the Thunder Bay District Municipal League minutes, moved by Councilor Belinda Kistemaker, second by Councilor Ted Shannon. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby acknowledge receipt of the minutes of the Thunder Bay District Municipal League TBDML board meeting held on September 16th, 2023. Any comments on those minutes? Go ahead, Councilor.
I'd just like to bring up, if you guys, to please read the EMS concerns that were in this meeting, so you're, so you see what's going on going up towards Thunder Bay. I think it's important that we pay attention.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments from council? Okay, there being none, I put those to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried, none opposed. 12.2 is council committee updates. I'll go round table. Councilor Ted Shannon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was at a Tourism Ontario conference last week, and I'd like to see if maybe I could get 10 or 15 minutes to be able to present the findings of an upcoming meeting. It would be worthwhile, I think, to see there were some interesting things that would be maybe a little more time consuming, and I'd like some time to prepare that.
Definitely, definitely. Are you thinking, is this something that?
There were some valuable things for Hornepayne, I think, in there that we would definitely be able to. So probably 10 minutes would suffice, and then I'd have a written at the same time.
Okay, what are you thinking, in December, or would you like to wait till January?
January might be okay because it's probably pretty heavy between now and that. So yeah, January.
Okay, we'll slot you for January, and that sounds great. I look forward to it. Thank you for that.
And there'll be some upcoming hospital news too, so in the very near future.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Kister.
Sorry, I got nothing out at this moment.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Kister Belinda.
I don't have anything right now.
Okay,
Thank you.
Councillor Drago Stefanic.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I had a Board of Health meeting, virtual. I didn't attend in person, October 26th. And yesterday I had a real important meeting with the Ministry of Health staff, our Dr. Catton, CEO, MOH, and Ministry of Health regarding the merger of all the health units in Northeastern Ontario. The meeting was a power meeting, lasted only an hour, 60 minutes, no more, no less. And I'll be Dr. Catton will bring this to our next meeting end of the month to the whole board, and then we'll disseminate information that we are allowed to disseminate from the discussion. They're still looking downsizing, but they're not saying from 34 to 10 health units. They're looking at volunteer mergers. I could also say that the province, Ontario Ministry of Health will pay for those volunteer mergers as of now. So those things I could release, the rest.
Right. I'll
But-
try. If any of the questions I asked, Drago, if you can't comment, just to obviously say you can't comment.
Okay.
But has the province put forward any minimum requirement of health units merging? Like, can it just be 2, or are they looking at 3 or 4?
There was no numbers, but however, no, I can't release, no, sorry.
Okay, no, that's
This is
fine.
the report is confidential, I read it, I memorized it, I almost spelled it out, that would be a bad idea.
Okay.
They
But so it must
were looking
be,
at population size, they were looking at population, certain numbers that they could gather them together.
okay. So it must be a good news story though for us, because we're already looking at amalgamating.
We are, I could say this, we're much advanced than anybody else, health unit in Northeastern Ontario, 2 of units that were together.
Okay,
So we're ahead of the game, because it'll be 100% funded. That's common knowledge.
Yeah.
So I think we're moving. And tomorrow, another Board of Health meeting, we have a finance committee with Board of Health PHU as well. And that's virtual as well. And we'll be discussing the financial end to see how much through our manager of treasury, to see how much money will be forthcoming to our PHU and Temiskaming Health Unit.
okay.
And they're much smaller than us, so I think we'll gel together. But I'll keep the council abreast. Much as information I could release, I will certainly share that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thank you for that, Councillor. For council, my full docket of meetings from October will be on the November 5th meeting. I do want to highlight a few things. We are in full conference planning at Ontario Good Roads. That actually, we're going to talk about that this evening for our conferences next year. I also would like to highlight that I have been researching a little bit. I had mentioned this at a few different councils meetings, that I would like to look at investment opportunity for our community, attracting investors this term. So, and I had mentioned it at our last council meeting that the FCM conference is in June in Alberta. And I think there's 3 businesses out there that we might be able to garner support to come to Ontario. So, and I just want to keep researching that and looking at that. And I have to say today, I had a really good visit with David and Darcy. If they looked at all of our community, and they were quite sincere, and I do appreciate the product they build. There are videos online. I would encourage all the council to look at them. And then any other further investments. I think the tourism one is another one that we can go after. So that might feed into what else is happening in other communities. And especially now with the CDAC up and formed, we can get the Center of Ontario moving. So I guess from my perspective, what I'm looking at is that we have all the documents in place now to move forward and see our community see some growth. So. And with that, if there's no questions or comments for anyone, we'll move on. Well, sorry, just, do we want to talk about the OPP now, or do we have that on another part in our agenda? That's next week, right? Next 15th?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
OPPs.
So I will update council right now. So this has been ongoing on our agenda items with the OPP calls. So we did meet with Kevin Bellinger today. We talked about OPP servicing. We do have a complement of 5. There is one vacancy and one is off on leave right now. And he is pushing for our community. I have to say that I like the way he speaks about looking at trying to grow the facility, because we have not the facility, grow the complement because we have the facility within our community, which makes sense. And he's just a really pro Hornepayne, which I really enjoyed speaking with him with. And the night in question that we talked about last meeting, and you did get a brief update on that. It wasn't that we didn't have police presence in town. There was already 3 priority calls that had happened. And there was actually someone transported to the jail in Wawa, so there was quite a bit of commotion happening that evening in Hornepayne, and we did have protection on board. So. And he will, and we did find out the portal that people can call and complain directly, because I had asked about that as well, like, because I felt like we were being the middleman in this situation, and is there a number that you can call so that you can directly request a review if you didn't get service from the OPP, and there's already a system in place, and when it comes back to council on the 15th, I will share all of that information, and we're already sharing it if people are requesting to put things on council when it deals with OPP, so. Did I miss anything from that meeting? Okay. Okay, if that's everything then, we'll move on to 13. 13.1 is the conferences, so we had deferred this to discuss for today. Is there any further, has council taken the chance to look at what conferences that they would want to attend? Councilor Belinda Kistemaker, go ahead.
You can put me down for the Thunder Bay District Municipal League one.
Okay.
And because of that, maybe I can go to the NOMA one if no one else wants to go.
Okay, is there any other takers for NOMA? No?
Thank you.
Okay, and Eileen, you would like to attend NOMA. So I think that's a good fit, and there might be opportunity. I know in the past they've had opportunity delegations. I know we're not doing any at Roma, but that might be an opportunity to put something in. Okay, and we have Drago for Phenom, the Canadian FCM. I have myself and Ted. And were you able to talk to staff?
Yes, and I just wanted to mention that the EDO already has about 3 conferences scheduled for 2024. So Dwayne would the Public Works Manager would be a better fit for FCM.
Okay, is Dwayne already going to the roads though, or not?
He advised that he could go to either or. Both were very beneficial, and so yeah, he can either do Good Roads or FCM.
Okay. And AMO. I will not be attending AMO just because with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, and I mentioned this at our last meeting, is I'd like to bump out that travel 2 days ahead to do those other tours. So I am not going to be going to any other conferences next year. And I'm wondering if we will, I think we may have delegations at AMO. Yes, Councilor Sean?
Perhaps it would be a better use of funding if I was to withdraw from the FCM and do AMO instead if the Public Works Manager and yourself are going to do FCM. It wouldn't be logical to send 3 of us to that. I think the 2 can glean as much information as 3.
Definitely. Thank you for that, Council. And do we have a staff member that could go to AMO next year?
It seems like in the past it has been the CAO, so
Okay.
I can attend if needed, if it falls within my budget.
Okay. Well, what
Because
I,
sorry,
go-
I was just gonna say it costs about 5,200 approximately to attend AMO. So, and NOMA is about 2,800, so. And those were just 2023 costs, so it might go up next year.
so what are you thinking, instead of doing NOMA, we'll do AMO? Is that what you're saying, or you'll look at the budget to see whether? Because my concern is that at AMO, we'll probably end up with delegations, because by that time we'll own them all. And we'll have to follow up with the Ministry of Northern Development. Or we could actually just do it on we could reach out and see what we can do without the conference as well.
We still have time.
Yeah, we
It'd
still
be
have
nice
time
to
for
follow
that.
up though on the, especially with the mall getting help and whatnot. I know we made progress the last demo meeting.
Yeah, and it is back in Ottawa, which is good.
So, sorry, I
Go
just
ahead.
wanted to mention that for staff wise, I can also fit, like I have the authority to, right, to figure out after, so staff wise, like we can pass it as long as we have council's kind of input for the conferences.
Okay,
And then I can always put myself in for AMO, and then if I can attend, then it can be another staff member that can attend with Ted, with Councillor Shedman.
okay, so then do you want us to fill out the resolution then without staff, and we'll just put the councillors in, and you can
Yeah.
do that, okay?
That would be best.
Okay, so I have noted the Dwayne for FCM. We do need staff at FCM, because if we're gonna be doing research on investment companies, and that would work. Okay, so I have, for the Thunder Bay District Municipal League, just before I read the entire resolution, council, I go into Kistemaker. Ontario Good Roads is Cheryl Fort. Do I have to put my name on this resolution, even though it's paid for by Good Roads? No?
No, because this is to approve the
Expenses, so we don't want that, but then it doesn't, okay, so that'll be blank under Good Roads. And then NOMA is going to Kistemaker, Phenom is Drago, FCM is Cheryl, and Association Municipal is Ted. Okay, thank you, council. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Belinda Kistemaker, second by Councillor Drago Stefani. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby approve the expenditures to be incurred by the following to attend the following annual general meetings and/or annual conferences. Thunder Bay District Municipal League, TBDML, Thursday, February 29th to Friday, March 1st, 2024, in Nipigon, Belinda Kistemaker. Ontario Good Roads Association, Sunday, April 21st to Wednesday, April 24th, 2024, in Toronto, Ontario. No delegates. Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association, NOMA, Wednesday, April 24th to Friday, April 26th, 2024, in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Belinda Kistemaker. Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities, Phenom, Monday, May 6th to Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, in Greater Sudbury, Ontario. Drago Stefanic. Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM, Annual Conference and Trade Show, Thursday, June 6th to Sunday, June 9th, 2024, in Calgary, Alberta. Cheryl Fort. Association Municipalities, AMO, Sunday, August 18th to Wednesday, August 21st, 2024, in Ottawa. Ted Shannon. Any further comment on the motion? Those in favor? And that is carried, none opposed. Okay, we still can carry on. We're still at 7:08 here, so new and other business. Item 14.1. Would you like to speak to your report?
I don't have anything further to add to council or for council's information. There's limited information that can be provided on this, so the information that I could provide is listed in my report.
Okay, any comments on the report from council? Councilor Kistemaker?
There's one question to you, Madam Mayor. Eileen, the listing on 19 Becker Road, the potential future owner, could we be at least allowed to know if they are gonna be susceptible to paying taxes or not?
I don't know the answer to that, so I'd have to get back to council.
Okay. I'm just concerned that the one identity could buy it and potentially not have to pay tax. And if that was the case, do we have some avenues that we can follow?
Any further questions or comments on that from council? Okay, a mover and seconder to acknowledge receipt, moved by Councillor Ted Shannon, second by Councillor Peter Kissmaker. Be it resolved that council does hereby acknowledge receipt of the CAOSR 2023-14 sale of land by public tender report as prepared by Island Singh, CAO clerk. If there's no further comment, I put that to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, item number 14.2 is a appointment change. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Drago Stefanik, second by Councillor Ted Shannon. Whereas on June 21st, 2017, council appointed Gail Jeremy, CAO clerk, as complaints representative for the Assessment Review Board, ARB, through resolution number 13281. And whereas Gail Jeremy has since retired from the Township of Hornepayne, therefore be it resolved that the Council of Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby appoint Eileen Singh, CAO clerk, as the complaints representative for the Assessment Review Board, ARB, who will receive and investigate complaints from other parties to appeals regarding the conduct of its legal representative. Be it further resolved that resolution number 13281 is hereby repealed. Is there any comment on that? There being no comment, I put it to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, item number 14.3, if I can get a mover and a seconder, and then we can open up the floor for discussion. Moved by Councillor Belinda Kistemaker, second by Councillor Ted Shannon. Whereas Mayor Cheryl Ford, the Tri-Community Representative for the Algoma District Services Administrative Board, ADSAP, has brought forward information regarding the inadequate paramedic services in the northwest part of the Algoma District. And whereas it is Mayor Ford's recommendation that an independent third-party consultant be hired to conduct a service delivery review on emergency medical services within the northwest part of the Algoma District in order to provide solutions. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does request that the Algoma District Services Administration Board, ADSA, hire an independent third-party consultant to conduct the service delivery review on emergency medical services within the northwest part of the Algoma District. Be it further resolved that this resolution will be forwarded to the Algoma District Services Administrative Board, ADSA, the Township of White River, the Township of Dubreuilville, and the Municipality of Wawa. So I open up the floor for discussion or question. Councillor Drago Stefanik.
Mayor, I agree with you 100%. Good first step. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. So I did, just for an update, I did have meetings with the three communities. I have had meetings with Keith Bell. This is, if you notice in the resolution, we're just at this time treating, sharing with ADSAP and the three communities and ourselves to try and come up with win-win solutions. It's the challenges they're facing with staffing and ensuring that we have service. Hopefully we can get new eyes looking at it and get them some help and not overburden their staff that are already taxed trying to figure out their other issues. So hopefully it's done in the early new year. Any further questions or comments? Okay, I put that to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, item 14.4 is the train whistle service survey responses. So I do think we have enough response and indication from the public. I was happy to see that 121 answered the survey. I remember when we did our housing needs and demand study, the number was about this and the consultants were very pleased with that number. So the next question is, when do we do it and how do we move forward? There is the outlined report that was shared from Good Roads with us as well. But I think at our council table, we have to decide when we want to commit staff time to this. Councilor Ted Shannon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. With the amount of response, I would think we do need to prioritize it, but it's going to be a long process. So I think the sooner we get started, the better. It will be a long process, but we should start it as soon as possible, I think. Depending on how the staff can work in on top of all the other things they already have to do.
Yeah, from my experience sitting here at table about 9 years almost, I think there's a lot of stress on staff, and it's November, December, year end. I would say, I suggest from my experience sitting around the table, probably January might be a good fit, to be fair to staff. I mean, there's other stuff, they gotta wrap up stuff, there's year end stuff, and I've been on the other side before, so yeah, I think January, my view.
Okay. Any further comments from council? Hearing those comments, my recommendation would be that we actually get a staff report. Maybe it should be the first, I would say the first meeting of February, and we'll be done our budgeting and that at that time with an estimated outline of I think it's 8 steps. So this was the first step that we finished with the first public consultation. And then realistically working through those steps. Does that seem?
So, sorry,
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just looking at the cessation procedure, is council looking for a timeline as to how long this will take? Because it's hard to, like, if I'm consulting with the railway company, I don't know how long that's gonna take, right? Like, I think even if I ask them, they might not know. So
No, my clarification, I'll clarify that. So when we look at the 8 steps, so 7 steps, 8 steps that are involved. So what I'd like to see, just so council's aware of where we're headed, is that the municipality consults with the railway company. I would definitely give that out to probably 8 to 10 months to ensure, and then we come back and revisit it at that time, so it doesn't get lost in the other work that we're doing. So, and then you have allowables, and then at that time, does the council have to come in and give support? And that way you have the support of council if you're not getting any movement with the railway company.
So kind of like an ETA for each step.
Yes. And then we can follow up with that. And then we have a full report. And I think the information just with the surveys needs to be gathered into a report style for our record keeping.
Sorry, Mayor, if you can repeat the last thing that you just said.
Just the survey responses and that, just that they're compiled into a report for our record keeping. I think right now, like we do have, like when you look at the questions 4 and 6, the responses, if we're indicating how many of those responses are saying, yes, we want to move forward with that, those types of numbers, just summarizing some of those comments. And then if we have reached out, if we have started, because Transport Canada is usually at FCM and CM's there, so maybe that'll be an opportunity to speak to them one-on-one. If we get any movement. Did you need any more information, Eileen?
No, I think I'm good for that. Thank you.
Any further comments or questions from council? Okay. Moving on then to the draft rental policies. First one is the skate rental policy. Any comments from council? The idea is here that you have the opportunity to comment and then it'll come back for passing at our next meeting. The only issue that I had with, I think it was the rental that, oh, yes, in the eligibility with the valid issue ID, skate service rentals are available to individuals 18 and over, and they must be, anyone 17 and under must be accompanied by a parent or legal guardian to rent skates. Is there any way that we can incorporate some sort of pre-signing ahead of time that allows, like, the parent only has to come once if they're renting the skates? To me, that seems quite old to have,
Yes,
like 16 years old, they can drive themselves up there.
yeah.
And then we're gonna require the parent to go up there with them, so, or can you look into that and see? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so we can look into that and see if we can tweak the eligibility part specifically. So 3.2A is what you're looking at, right?
Yeah, 3.2A, when we're just looking at the, you know, when this policy is actually in place and how it is going to be used. And I'm thinking people that are gonna be renting skates in Hornepayne are going to be visitors. So it's going to be your 16-year-old cousin who's with you that goes up there and they're gonna rent a pair of skates. And the parents have already shooed you out the door. They're not gonna wanna come up there and sign the paperwork, so. But if it's a legal issue or what have you, if there's another way that we can skirt around it. And it is outlined in here as well. I think I saw that the skates are to be used in our arena, right? Like they're for our ice surface.
Rental of skates at the Hornepayne Community Arena under 2, and I believe it's mentioned rental hours. Some rentals must be returned to the Hornepayne Community Arena, so it's kind of mentioned throughout, yes.
Okay, I think we need to clarify that it's the use in the community arena. Just because we'll be sharpening skates if we're renting skates out to ponds and that sort of thing. Unless if council's agreeable, they can take them wherever they want.
There's been a lot of pond skating lately. I just want to see the kids get out and use them.
Okay. So as long as they return to the arena, okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is there any other issues from council on this skate rental agreement? Okay, there being none, that'll come back on the 15th for adoption.
Yes.
Okay, and then we have the draft snowshoe rental policy. And just further clarification on that, even though that we haven't passed the policy, can it start after this meeting that's already been discussed from council, or do they have
No,
to wait for renting until the 15th?
It would have to be passed first and then it can start.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have the same comments about the eligibility for the snowshoe rental. Any comments from council on the snowshoe rental policy? Okay, there being none, we'll move on. Okay, 7:23. I originally was going to do the bylaws after, right, but we have time, so. Okay, moving on to 15.1, we have the bylaws. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Ted Shannon, second by Councillor Belinda Kissemaker. Be it resolved that bylaw number 2035 being a bylaw to authorize the automotive material services amendment agreement between the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne and the Automotive Material Stewardship Incorporated, AMS, a producer of responsibility organization, PRO, for the collection and processing of certain items under the Ontario's new hazardous and special products, HSP regulation. Be hereby read as first and second time, be considered read a third time, and finally passed. Any comments on that bylaw? Okay, there being none, I put it to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried. Bylaw number 2036, the garbage pickup and landfill service or transfer station operations agreement. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Peter Kistinger, second by Councillor Ted Shenley. Be resolved that bylaw number 2036 being a bylaw to enter into an agreement with garbage pickup and landfill transfer station operations agreement with the Hornepayne Service Center Incorporated. Be hereby read a first and second time, considered read a third time, and finally passed. Any further discussion on this bylaw? Okay, there being none, I put it to a vote. Those in favor? And that is carried and opposed. Item number 15.3, bylaw number 2037, tax sale building protection. If I can get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Jacob Scan, second by Councillor Ted Shenneman. Be resolved that bylaw number 2037 being a bylaw to protect and safeguard the integrity of buildings and land subject to the tax sales process be hereby read a first and second time and be considered read a third time and finally passed. And my suggestion for this bylaw is that we have our closed session and we look at passing it after our closed session. There may be further, I know I have further questions. Okay, we're a bit early. So I move now that we do move into a closed session. We'll take a 10-minute break. We can start our closed session early and do the first item before our solicitor arrives. So if I get a mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Peter Kistemaker, second by Councillor Ted Shenneman. Be resolved that the next portion of the meeting at 7:26 p.m. be closed to the public in order to discuss personal matters for an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose, pursuant to Section 239(2)(b)(f) of the Municipal Act 2001. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, Council, we'll have till 7:40, and then we can go into our closed session. we're good? Okay, if I can get a mover and a seconder to return to open, moved by Councilor Dragon, second by Councilor Ted Schoeneman. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Hornepayne does hereby return to open council at 9 p.m. Those in favor? And that is carried. Okay, business arising from the closed session, ongoing discussions will happen in the future. For item 14.2, there's no further discussion at 14.1 at this time. And adjournment, or sorry, before that, we did put a bylaw that we deferred onto after the close. Let me just get to it. So that was bylaw number 2037. And we have it on the floor. After consultation and close, we'll have it back to us in draft or in final form next meeting. So I am looking at deferring this until next meeting. So did we have a motion and a seconder for that already? Could you please repeat what it is?
It was moved by Councilor Stefanik and seconded by Councilor Shannon.
Okay, so that bylaw is up for vote to defer until next meeting. Those in favor to defer, and that is carried. Okay, and then we have our adjournment, and due to the deferral of the one bylaw, this confirmatory will change to 2037 for the bylaw number. So if I can get a mover and seconder for bylaw number 2037, the confirmatory, moved by Councilor Ted Schoeneman, second by Councilor Johnny Kistemaker. Result that bylaw number 2037 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at their regular meeting held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. Be hereby read a first and second time and considered read a third time and finally passed. Those in favor? And that is carried and opposed. Adjournment. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councilor Drago Stanek, second by Councilor Belinda Kistemaker. Be it resolved that council is hereby adjourned this regular meeting of council held on Wednesday, November 1st, 2023 at 9:02 p.m. Those in favor? And that is carried. Hey, thank you, council, for holding out to the very end here. 3 hours.